This is not tepid shit FM. This is Kick This.
Meltdown! 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 Listen!
You're listening to Kick This. I'm Elma. I'm in the heart of Brixton with writer, boxing teacher, frontman of the Phony King of England, and local Brixton head Douggie Graves. Pleased to see you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
Thank you.
Busy man, many strings to your bow.
Yeah.
What's taking up most of your time at the moment? Which takes priority?
Boxing taking all my time at the moment. I like to keep a 50-50 balance before boxing's took over.
Why? How come?
So many young boxers I've got on, sort of on my books, looking after. Quite a few projects, you know, Hammersmith Town Hall, I'm teaching the staff there. Holborn College of Arts, you know, there's a boxing club in Hammersmith, you know, the main club.
Are you enjoying it, or is it like it's taking too much time and you don't get chance to
I'm
do
enjoying it
other?
actually. There's never too much boxing, but I'm enjoying it. And actually I use it. It's all training for me. I make sure I train as often as I can with the lads. I'm ready for the next live date.
But we'll get on to that later.
Yeah.
You spent much of your childhood on a traveller's site in Kent, and you said that you and your siblings fought your way out of there. Have you always been a fighter?
No, actually I'm not a fighter. I've been cursed or blessed with quite a bad temper. We ended up moving out of London. There was a domestic issue, my mum and my dad, and we ended up moving away from London onto this site. My older brother done most of the scrapping.
Okay, but you had to fight your way out.
Oh, it's
of there?
right. That's the currency down there. Punch in the mouth. Nobody. You go down there now. Nobody's got any front teeth. It's all broken kisses. It's a fighting place. St Mary's Cray. Always has been. I was down there the other day. All the pubs are gone, man. It's strange, man.
It wasn't designed to be. Life is one big road, it's full of broken signs all guiding me. And that's the only time she did confide in me.
How do you turn a fighter into a boxer?
Good teaching, I think, is the answer to that. It's a really good question because the fight's already in the... You can't teach fight. You can teach boxing, but you can't teach fight. That's in a kid. You know, my main class in Hammersmith, you know, there's a lot of, you know, girls there who never fight. I love to teach them the art. And then you got the other kids who are just begging me all the time to get them fights. When am I fighting? When am I fighting? You know, so that's in a kid. Everyone in St Mary's Cray's got that in them. Yeah, even the old biddies, purple hair, they got the fight in them, you know. But you can teach the boxing, balance, timing, you know, composure, fitness, you can teach that.
Boxing is the truth. That's a quote of yours.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, yes. When I say boxing's the truth, there's no way to bullshit your way through a boxing career. As a fighter, you'll accept your losses. You'll accept when it's all over. And you'll accept your victories graciously, or you'll be known as a big mouth. That's the truth. You know, if you're a bully, it'll become evident. You know, so that's the truth, you know. It's very challenging. Years ago, I was doing lots of gear and I split up with this girl, really cared about her. It done my head in the whole thing. I thought I've got to get away from drugs, and there was a gym. You know, so I was up to the gym, just training with all the lads from down St Mary's Cray. You know, we were just knocking shit out of each other. And then one day, the owner of the gym turned up, and he said, listen, you've all got to clear out unless you want to fight properly for this club. And there was this moment of truth for me, you see. He said, you've got 3 weeks before the boxing season starts. And of course then I had this 3 weeks of a devil on one shoulder saying, to get the fuck out, you'll get yourself hurt. And the other, the sort of angel saying, listen, you can do this, you can push through. Yeah, that was my truth. That's another sort of element to it. I had 3 weeks to find my truth. Was I going to walk away, or was I going to go on and have some competitions for this boxing club? Mm-hmm. And of course I went on and had some fights, and again it is all searching for the truth on the night. Were you good enough? Were you not good enough? Did you train? Were you smoking on the day? It's the truth, mate.
Yeah, you can't wing it, can you, in boxing? If you're
can't wing it. You can't wing it. No, you can't wing it, and that's the truth. Sylvester Stallone, I mean, he got put in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Yeah, for doing that, you know, steroid prick, in my opinion. Excuse me, but what it is, my favourite boxer of all time is Aaron Pryor. But anyway, he was on site on this Hollywood movie with Stallone, and Stallone begged him, you know, please don't hit me, you know. And you know, this is the guy they all worship as Iraqi. And that night he whisked Aaron Pryor's wife away. Just put a ring post of security around him and shagged Aaron's missus, you know. And that's the type of geezer. He's in the Hall of Fame, Sylvester Stallone, you know what I mean?
Actually, on that point, I was really surprised because you write books, you write lyrics. You don't read fiction or you don't watch fiction.
No.
Why is that? Because, like, surely we all gravitate towards things that we believe in. Most things, anyway, even documentaries, they're only through the eyes of somebody who's making it. They're not always factual.
Yeah. The conduit there would be the author, how much he wants to sort of decorate whatever he's writing about. Yeah, for instance, crime writing, an ice pick in the left eye is an ice pick in the left eye. Actually very much into crime reading and a bit of writing. But fiction, we start with the Hollywood, you know, with movies. I haven't watched a movie for years, I haven't watched a TV for years. The last time I went in the cinema was to see that Bill Hicks movie. And I walked out, man. It was all the adverts, man. It was just like bombing you, you know, closer still, shave. And, you know, how close you want to get? You know, it was like, no, I just can't stand anything to do with industry as far as actors. And they might be decent fellas, you know, you bump into Brad Pitt or whatever. But I can guarantee you they've done some nasty stuff to get where they are. I can guarantee you. Because you could set off now, you know, and be the greatest actor. Really good, and I know a couple good actors. No way in. You got to be taken in deeper somehow to get those Hollywood roles. Nasty stuff, and I don't need entertaining. I do not need entertaining. I'm constantly entertaining myself.
Fair enough.
Down cold Arbor Lane. How many young mamas there feel the pain? How many young mamas tears down the drain? 24/7 man.
You've described music as a weapon. So in what way is it a weapon? And if it is a weapon, who's it aimed at?
We've got to go deep here now. What it is, the way I see it, this society is profoundly fucked. This industrialised society. Music's a way of waking some of the people up. There's some people, you can't wake somebody who is pretending to be asleep. But if you get the right Bob Marley album out at the right time, you can turn a city trader, you know, into a brother, if you see what I'm saying. Or I mean, Bob Marley albums, just dissect the lyrics. That's a weapon, but I mean for a positive purpose. Peace and love, unite, one love, and put people before money. So it's a weapon, and it's aimed really at, I suppose, the so-called authorities, you know, civic authorities. My thing is, you know, it's town hall staff, pen pushers, you know what I mean? My music is trying to give some people somewhere to be other than in a world of money, see? So it's a weapon in a way of extraction, a weapon of extraction, helping people get out of this bullshit, housing benefit, poor.
You want to touch people?
Yeah, and let people know, same time, that because our songs are like reflections, so it's okay, really. Maybe you're in a situation, you might think you're on your Jack Jones on your own, but with this musical weapon, can let you know, say you got a brotherhood, you know, you're not the only one. Say new veterans, for instance. Jenny is a mum, she's only 21, she's got too many children. Yeah. I hope that answers the question. I'm kind of trying to wake people up in a way that, you know, they're not alone. We're all going through this thing.
Right, let's get to the music. Pandora's Can of Worms, your first album with the Phony King of England, yeah?
Yeah, yes.
It bristles with energy and you managed to capture the intensity of your live performance.
Thank you very much, man.
I love it. It's been getting serious airtime.
I appreciate your appreciation. Yeah.
And anyone I've given it to, everyone's loved it.
Really? That's great.
Unusually for an album, I don't find a dud track on it, which is great. Yeah,
this
but
is good, mate.
However, it's one continuous play. Why?
Jesus, I've got all my hands up there. This week on Douggie fucked up. It was such a hassle getting that album out. I mean, such a hassle. The skeleton of that album laid around for about 3 years. You know, 2 mixes came through online from Pav, the 5th Phony. One mix was just for my enjoyment, which was the continual. You know, it was in Dropbox and it wasn't a note with it. The other mix was single tracks. I chose the wrong one. Yeah, we're going to burn up some new ones, single tracks, and it'll never happen again.
Love song from the radio. Don't be a Burke, son, you know it never works, son. What do you know?
I read online that I think it was you refer to the Phonies not as a band but as a shattered mirror. Okay, if I didn't know you, I'd say, what kind of bullshit is that? Because it sounds a bit
security,
pretentious.
please.
But no.
Security.
So, what do you mean?
On the tube or wherever you were today, and I know you're a bit of a people watcher, and we all are. Well, those of us, you know, slightly still awake and not in a dream state. There's all these lives going on. It's like that Donovan song, Ordinary Family. Behind the curtains, there's a mum, you know, say recovering from a stroke. In the next window, there'll be a crackhead. You know, in the next window, a kid crying because he failed his GCSEs. And I see all that, pick up on it, and we'll throw it back at you. But it will come back in shattered form, especially with the Phonies. Phonies are a band you've got to listen with your eyes, you know. Really, you're seeing this thing and you're sort of hearing what you're seeing, and it's a picture and it's all coming back, and the reality of our existence here, you know, fucked up relationships, we've all done it, periods on the fucking sniff, and it's not just me, you know, there's Evan Jenkins, you know, our drummer, who, although he looks very calm, he's got a tale to tell, and there's Craig, time in prisons on music projects and what have you, you know, years in the mental health industry, Craig.
Some guitar player. He's brilliant.
Yeah. Then there's Peter. But I mean, I've only known Peter a couple of years.
The bassist.
Our bassist, yeah, Dirty Mac.
But very groovy bass. It's like, it really keeps everything going.
I'll find out. I bet there's a story there. So we're throwing this back. It's shattered. You're looking at what you've experienced coming back at you in all sorts of different shards.
One of the great things about your live performances is that you can hear what you're saying. A lot of times when you go to see bands, you might already know the stuff, you've heard it, so you kind of know what they're singing about. But with yours, you can really hear most of your lyrics. You doing that purposefully? Does it matter to you that in bands?
It really does matter, actually.
It is good.
When you stick around, I like all this good phony talk. But listen, it's true. Every word, you know, literally, every single word has a sound which in turn has a power. And I am very particular with words. Certain words I won't use. It makes me glad to hear that. Spit them all like 2 bullets, man. And hopefully it's going to fire in the right direction. Shattered sense.
It does. Right, the band's musical style as well, it doesn't fit neatly into any certain box, which is great. I love the description I read, Sonic Dirt.
Yeah.
Right, that's a whole new genre to me. I never heard it before. I never heard that term.
We invented it, mate.
Yes.
We trademarked that.
Sonic Dirt, that's great.
Sonic Dirt, that's what it is. Yeah. It fits nowhere, and because the industry is not going in there, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's a certain genre. For instance, there was this busker outside Brixton station, I think it was today or yesterday. I wanted to chill him. You know, this very soulful, was it sort of James Blunt-y type growly, soulful. But there's this guy, it was his generic, you know, singing, but he had a pierced lip. And I'd heard that song and those chords so many different times, you know, really and truly, if law was suspended for, you know, 5 minutes, I'd chill him. And give his guitar to a 16-year-old who's got a chance. Yeah, so we're out of the genre thing, not fitting in any genre. It's a lot of experiences, a lot of different styles kind of in there. It's a frequency more than a genre. Fuck the industry. And the moment a sort of grey bearded record company guy turns up with a lump of Charlie hanging out of his nose and got some ideas for the band, I'll get done for murder. Go away. Don't need you. This is do it yourself. We got some new stuff, new ideas for our second album. Oh,
great.
Out there.
I'd say your lyrics and your writing are concerned with grassroots issues and situations and, you know, like you say, things that you see every day. There's a line, and then my drummer said, why can't I write a happy song? How can I write a happy song with all the
fucking shit that is going on?
That's going on. But yeah, there's a lot of humour in your songs.
Yes.
And in your performance as well. What kinds of things do you find funny?
Wow. Curve, ball, question. What do I find funny? What do I wail at? Not comedy. Bill Hicks used to get me laughing. I mean, the YouTube vids, you know, I only discovered him on YouTube, you know what I mean? And he had me roaring. And of course, you know, every now and then I'll come across a comedian on YouTube. Well, I always think, you know, he's doing that for money, you know, he's standing up there, has to be funny, for money, this demon financial system. So I don't really laugh at comedians. Bill Hicks got me. I'm not sure what makes me... Plenty of fake laughter lately. Well, it has to be. You know, just naff jokes coming at you left, right and centre. Did you watch that Rocky movie? I don't know what's funny. Give me to the end of this.
Maybe
interview.
come back to that one. I've worked in a prison with people who've been classed as criminals. For me, though, I think the biggest crime probably in the world today is poverty. And I think it's probably what divides us most, more than culture, religion, race, sex. Would you agree? Who do you think the biggest perpetrators of crime are?
Well, I would advise your good self and anybody listening to Google Newton, that's Newton, rebels, or Newton Rebellion, 1607, and I don't do numbers, so we say the turn of the 16th century. There was this uprising in the Midlands. It's not taught in school, that's why, you know, I've got no faith in the education system here at all. I'd empty every school, rip up the building and have allotments, because the Newton Rebellion was the last wave of common men and women who stood against industrialised society, machines. We're talking about rich and poor now. It started with machines, inventions and machines, on farms and in cotton mills. It culminated in a protest in a tiny hamlet led by a man called Captain Pouch, John Reynolds, and he ordered that it be non-violent. Huge protests. Protesting against these machines,
yeah.
these enclosures, these land enclosures, the gentry closing off the land and routing forest communities, because England had forest communities and open field communities, and there was no rich and poor. There were Swedes and carrots and potatoes. And what we know is ward law, W-A-R-D, ward law, which was the toughest family, sort of had the land really, and you've done a bit of work for them, lived on their land. Bob's your uncle. Apparently this whole thing started at a football match. The gathering began at a football match, which brings in the hooliganism thing. But this was sensible hooliganism, and they gathered at Newton Field, and the perpetrators would be the Crown, really, gathered with their mercenaries and tooled up proper, horses and on foot. They read a proclamation from King James I, who said, like, disperse, or you're all in trouble, this land's mine. They refused to move, and they were charged by the army, and they were smashed to pieces. And that bleeds into the community for generations. The battle for England, rural England, common land, our freedom. Well, really and truly, you know, my people would have been in West Africa, I don't know. But I'm talking about, you know, the indigenous England fell that day. And there's always been little uprisings after that, what have you. But the land enclosures continued, profit was made, concrete went down, McDonald's, Weatherspoons, Bob is your uncle. Now, when people are going about their business, say the forklift driver, you know, in the warehouse, you know, with Daily Star stuffed in his back pocket, and he thinks he loves his country, I'd advise him, get off, tip over the forklift, and evacuate, you know, the factory and rip it up. We need our land back. Because the perpetrators are in the town hall, that's where they are, and they're the pen pushers, they're in the job centre. You know, we don't own the pavement. Whose streets? Their streets. Underneath, that little weed growing out, you see, you know, next to the wherever, that's ours. And then there's no more rich and poor. Once you get to the earth, You know what I mean? It's work to be done. And once you get on the concrete and the profit, and it's rich and poor. Let me just verify that the machines were taking jobs. That's what it was, and they still are, man. They still are.
Same old bullshit. Terror threat is critical.
MC Apex Zero said recently to me that the main reason people in Britain don't revolt is because they aren't actually on their knees yet. In your experience, do you think these days that we stand up less for our rights than we used to? And like that we're less politicised, or that we're even a bit sort of dumbed down?
We are fucked unless we begin the search for self. Everything we have experienced on this journey has been fed to us. The Beatles, the Stones, everything, when we thought we were rebelling, that was fed to us. At the same time, on the hill in Jamaica, there's a Rasta man with the drum, at one with the earth, the moon, the tide. Over here, if we don't challenge this NI number that has stuck to us, if we don't challenge the very birth certificate system, who am I logged with? If we don't question that, if we don't question Mr., what Mr stands for, but no one wants to. What it is, well, I say no one, you know, people do, but I suppose the majority, in my eyes, are here now for a replica Man United top, can of Coke, half a gram at the weekend. If it goes off now, if there's an uprising of any sort, it'll just be for Nike trainers.
But see, like in Europe, people in Greece got up and started, you know, having battles in the street. In Middle East.
Yeah, I mean, what you do, I mean, you want to fight the force, you give the force power. We all got to really, really study our history, how we got where we are, and embark on a search for self. Find yourself. See, me personally, I'm on a mountain now. I'm on there's streams, there's trees, there's fresh water, there's salt water. That's where I am in myself. I am aware of the extent of the wickedness of this system, in the interest system. You know, everyone goes along with it. You know, what the fuck? Who set that? Where's my land? I want to plant for some potatoes, man. I want to, you know.
So do you think then that, like you were saying about the Stones and the Beatles, do you think punk, do you think the Black Panthers in America, all of those, that was set up for us?
It's all if it was genuine, if it's a genuine seed, it's very quickly infiltrated. Secret intelligence is secret intelligence, and it's fucking powerful. Militarised secret intelligence. For instance, the Black Panthers, really interested in you say that. The word black doesn't mean what we think it means, obviously. It's an old English word from the word Blaek, B-L-A-E-C. I mean, you won't find these dictionaries now. They've all been bought up and it's all been changed to mean something else. The original definition of the word black is white, pale, bleached, bleak. And spelling in English, you know, there's spells cast. So right down when these words were devised, when everything turned from Latin, you know, there were tricks and codes. It's forked tongue. We've been given certain words. For instance, you mentioned the Black Panthers, and why didn't that sort of succeed and sort of bleed into future generations? It's the wrong word.
So you're saying the power of words? Wrong
word, yeah, wrong energy, wrong word.
That's why you said earlier then that certain words you won't use?
Yeah. Black Panther, wrong thing. It was genuine and they were great, you know, with the Medicare house to house. Young Bobby Hutton, wasn't it? 17-year-old, these genius kids. Wrong word, you know, heartfelt effort at making some change. I mean, secret intelligence, find out where they are, send in a dude with an afro who looks like one of you and mirror shades and they shoot you to fuck.
But that's not purely down to the name, are you thinking?
No, energy, yeah, all energy, I think, all energy. It's literally, if you fine-tune energy, and you can do anything, man, literally.
Actually, that leads into this question then. You've mentioned before what you're saying there, the importance of tapping into positive energy.
Yeah.
Was there a catalyst for you that made you think this? Was it just reading books or what?
And there was that bullshit book years ago called The Celestine Prophecies, and I thought it was true. Security, please. I thought it was true, you know. I read it, but it really touched on some interesting points about our energy and vibrating at a rate that great things can happen. Well, that is a bullshit book, for sure. But I mean, that was, reading that was really interesting, and been thinking about energy ever since. Now, there is no negative energy. There's no such thing as negative energy. No such thing at all. You give me all the energy that Hitler and his funders and whoever, give me that energy. I'll do something different with it. Rip up all the schools, allotments, put the mums to counselling the young, guitar for the youngsters. There's no negative energy, no such thing. It'll come through a conduit, which is you or I. It'll be earth one way or the other. You know, so if you've got some fucked up history and it's repeating itself through your actions, it's only you can stop that. You know what I mean? And it's an energy thing. Once it's gone through us, which is the reactor, I'm sure good is written in everybody's soul. Yeah. I'm quite sure, but we get fucked up as youths. Oh man, we all get traumatised as youths, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. .com. Going to school, traumatised stuff. Fuck. I mean.
Besides that reading of a book, which turns out to be bullshit, whatever, but you got something from it.
Yes.
So that was the catalyst for you thinking about energy?
No, the catalyst was, here we go. If
you can make it concise in the story.
Two incidents that kind of redefined words for me. On camera, there were visitations. I don't use the word supernatural, completely natural, but for some reason digital cameras seem to, pick up. I don't know. This was at two different places. Just quickly, it's in the manor, in the basement of a very old pub, one in the house we're sitting in now.
How did it sort of manifest and how did it feel?
Well, the first one, when I got the footage home and realised that whatever it was flew into me, directly into my head, a real feeling of, a real blessing, actually. It was a real blessing. Changed my life completely. That's the first incident, when I realised the trajectory of the flying light, shall we call it. It flew straight into me, and energy to energy, I believe. Yes, energy to energy. Okay. We were making some serious vibes down in that basement. We had a sound system going on, and this thing happened. Yeah.
Was it something you just saw afterwards?
Yeah, something I saw afterwards.
You didn't feel it at the time?
It's not at the time. The video film, it looks, this ball of light, it looks as if it flies off to the right.
I've seen it,
close inspection, it flew directly to where I was standing. And again, like I say, it's redefined words. How can I say what I began to feel? It was a sacred moment. It was a solemn reassurance that there is a lot more going on than we're taught in those sad, smelly schools. Yeah. I mean, if I've picked up on this in a little digital camera, twice. The second time was mind-blowing. Again, words, mind-blowing just trivialises it. The second time was incredible. I was shadow boxing, and again a light appeared around me, but I've run with it. I've taken the whole incident and run with it, and strangely enough, soon after that happened, then I returned to that basement. Great trepidation, actually. I went down to that basement, and I should have had no fear. This thing is confirmed to me, but there was a man earlier on the day that it happened, who told me there was murders in this pub, you see. This is what it is. And so I went back down to the basement into a side office where there was a huge streak of red ink down the wall, that obviously someone's mucking about with red ink, but it was kind of saying to me that someone was badly hurt down in that basement, and that I've released that soul, and that soul is with me, and if that soul is with me, then I'm quite sure there are hundreds with me, because I've been in a lot of old buildings and kicked up a lot of good vibes, and amen.
What music are you currently shadowboxing to?
Black Uhuru.
Why?
This music out of the corrugated shanty towns of Jamaica, and these people, not even water to drink. Probably the day they went to the studio was a hard day, and they sing so beautifully for all of us. So I just like the integrity of roots, Rasta music. So there's a lot of that with my shadowboxing. I had a little period on of dubstep before I woke up. I thought, this is shit. Hold on, really?
Yeah.
They said, why don't you just find some Just Shaka, some proper dub? What's this thing?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Name your top 3 boxers. You said 1.
Aaron Pryor, The Hawk. What a story, inside the ring and outside the ring. Sylvester Drone Stallone took his missus. That's another interview. Aaron Pryor, wow. His nemesis, Sugar Ray Leonard, incredible fighter. He's just come out and he wrote a book saying his Olympic coach was abusing him all the way through the, that's how he got into. Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, what you're going into, young lads. Careful for these, beasts. Yeah, beasts that are in there. But Ray Leonard, Aaron Pryor. You want one more?
Yeah, if you can squeeze one out, or you don't have to. Leave it at
right
2.
now, I'll probably call Brian Hawaiian Punch Viloria. He's a brilliant power puncher. Flyweight, super flyweight. Oh, Aaron Pryor was a wild man, but
are their styles very different, or is there something
yeah. Pryor he did everything wrong. Swung with his eyes closed. If he got knocked down, he'd do a cartwheel to get up. Probably high on coke all the time. Actually, spoils the reality.
Okay, can you give me a bar or 2 of your sort of favourite lyrics from song?
Where were you when the lights went out, sitting in your rocking chair, taking no time to think about the babes and suckling? There must be a way, only the truth will justify the day.
Who's that from?
Ernest Wilson. Oh. There's a story, bless him, great Jamaican singer. That song, I fell in love with that song. It's called Truth and Rights, and for years couldn't find it in any record shop. What a great song. This is what I'm saying. These Jamaicans, man, suffer, and just spout these beautiful things,
Okay, briefly, how do you feel about the recent changes in our good old town of Brixton? Briefly.
Right, the area outside the Ritzy, I hate it. I'll never, ever will walk across it. There used to be a green space.
I know it, yeah.
Yeah, and they got all the... Somebody's naff idea, right? SNI, just attach it to all the things you see. That square outside the Ritzy is an abomination. Fake grass, fake trees, cameras in the trees more than likely, and all the park benches facing away from each other, and people still go and use it. In the summer, they sit on these allotted sort of triangle of turf and strum guitars. There's never a chainsaw. I mean, you want one, I'd cut the place. It's awful. Don't like that. Wish they'd kept it the same. Where's the drinking school gone that was there?
It's across by Mass now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're still there. They're still there, but they're hidden. They're more hidden from us.
Right, yeah.
But that's how they want it, I guess. Okay, I've heard rumours from yourself that you're interested in doing a dual gig with some Dublin rappers.
Yes.
You still want to do that, and why?
Yeah, Dub City. G.I. Costello. Yeah. Calling G.I. and Costello. Come in. G.I. and Costello. Yeah, no, but I mean, they might be thinking, how would we fit with them on the same stage? It could be done.
Oh, I think easily it
could be done, and
similar vibe for me.
We'd support them, and then they could come to Brixton, do something up the hootenanny. Be great, but
why them? Why?
Oh man, that album. What was that? Is it Street Literature?
It's street, yeah. Products of the
environment. I shadow boxed the shit out of it. Actually, it's now a floppy disk. Yeah. I shadow boxed the shit out of that, and so did my lads.
Good.
And I like what they're talking about. I feel a oneness with those lads, and I will say, it restores my faith in humanity, hearing lads like that. That's what it is. That's the shattered mirror again.
Yeah,
they got the shattered mirror thing going on. They're just spitting it back at you. Well done, lads. We should do something.
Finally, you must have had your back to the wall on more than one occasion over the years, if you know what I mean. Yeah. How has your instinctive reaction to that changed, if it has at all?
You mean in a confrontation?
It might even just be a confrontation just when fear comes in, when things are happening in your life?
Ever since these 2 incidents we spoke about on film, I now just know that I must keep the faith and good things will happen. I can generate at a rate of knots that it pushes back, you know, these brown envelope or housing benefit, although I'm not on that shit anymore, but you know, these this bullshit we're running around doing, man, I can push it back if I keep the faith. Don't freak out. I used to freak out. I used to end up in punch-ups at the bus stop because someone's stepped in front of me, all that frustration, you know what I mean? And it's like, the way now is to keep the faith. Good things will happen. Just like that bullshit book, what was it? Celestine Prophecies. There was things in there that are so true. Trust your coincidences.
Anything else to say for fans of yours, the bands that are listening, or just anybody listening?
Second album on the way, and if anybody can guess the title, I will run around Brixton naked with a Union Jack wedged between my...
So there's no chance of anyone guessing?
You never get the name. and yeah, I really appreciate all the support. That's it.
And your next gig is when?
It's March 14th in the Albert, Prince Albert. And it'd be good to see you there. Whoever's there gets the blessing.
What makes you laugh? Besides Bill Hicks' thoughts on it or not?
Security, please. Security. What makes me laugh? My brothers, Herbtree and Marlon, my 2 brothers, they give me a belly laugh. I haven't seen them for a while, see? So, yeah, nothing too much to smile about, you know?
Okay. Cheers, Douggie. Thank you.
I'm kicking it with Elma. Tune in, baby.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it?